I had been waiting for over one excruciating hour. Any tiny vibration would make me attentive, but always to no avail. Then I felt more shaking and looked to my left, and there were more bikers going across the bridge. I had been waiting for over an hour at Brecksville Station on the Cuyahoga Valley Scenic Railroad. To give you a better picture, I was on a bridge on a river near a curve covered completely with foliage, and the only way to see if something was coming is to listen. This day in particular, everything seemed to be twice as loud, but then I heard the sound of an Alco engine, and I looked at the tracks and saw the daily loco that runs up and down the line every day. I knew that after it had passed, there would be at least 10 minutes before what I was waiting for would be here. You see, this is before I had a radio and could have an idea when something was coming. After a good 30 minutes, I heard what sounded like gravel being driven over. Thinking this was another person on the bike, I paid no attention. But there is something important about this bridge I was on, and that is that it bounces every time someone goes over. But this time the bridge was still, and about a second later I saw a light growing and shrinking, more commonly known as a Mars light, a feature on this one special locomotive that was on nothing else like it. By the way, this wasn't one of those common locomotives you may see at grade crossings. This was Nickel Plate Road 765, one of the Berkshire steam locomotives. A few seconds later, I saw black smoke, and there it was. The next second, the only thing I could hear was the whistle from this iron beast. The feeling of a steam locomotive is way different than a diesel or electric. There's way more action. Things are constantly moving. Everything it does is seen on the outside. It gives you a rush of energy. It reminds you of what it was like more than 50 years ago. It reminds you of what railroading used to be. Since a very young age, I had been fascinated by anything that had a combustion engine and most importantly trains. One of my key beliefs that they have taught me is hard work and safety go hand in hand. Railroading is one of the most dangerous jobs in the world, and most injuries and fatalities can be avoided by doing what needs to be done while following rules. Most risks are taken to get what you need done with or to get something over with. To do a quality job, you can still follow the rules and do what you need to do in a timely manner. The next lesson I've learned is that you can meet anyone and see anything at the least expected time. Railroading is one of the most changeable and quickly changing industries in the world. An example is when I went to Horseshoe Curve. I didn't even know I was going to be going until 3 days before we went. When I got to the curve after going to the Railroaders Museum, I got up to the top, and lo and behold, one of my friends from my science class was near the fencing. I had no idea that he was going on that day. I hadn't even talked to him since the last day of school, and we both managed to pick the same day to go. Another example is on the 20th of April 2019. On this day, I went to Bree, Ohio for a day. The day had been very uneventful. Traffic seemed to be slower than usual. I heard on my radio that there was a Norfolk Southern heading east and thought nothing of it, not expecting anything other than one of their rebuilt Dash 9s. I saw the fourth engine, seeming to be a leased unit, but when I was 50 feet in front of me, I saw the company on the side, Pittsburgh and Ohio Central. This locomotive was over 40 years old by now. That definitely was the best thing I had seen that day and even the month. Railroading has taught me that hard work and safety go hand in hand. You can see anything and anyone at the least likely times, that good things do come to those who wait. Finally, it has taught me that being sentimental can be beneficial. Railroading has shaped how I have lived my life and what my life will become. And from the words of Doc Watson in Streamline Cannibal, it's a life that I love, it's home sweet home to me. Now to sum up this, may I say, train wreck of bad microphone quality, these are the credits. You might recognize some of these names, or you might not. So, bye.